Ball camera spin, rotate.
Good evening and welcome to NFL Monday Night Football.
It goes to Homer Jones. All the way.
It's an amazing event. It makes rock concerts look like tea parties.
What a show this man has put on tonight.
Ignition, we have liftoff.
William Perry fights the football.
Down this wall.
And nobody catches ball.
Monday Night Football became a national phenomenon.
Are you ready for some football?
He's got it! Right there!
He did it! Or you can take me now. I've seen it all.
How crazy is this? The Saints back in New Orleans, back in the Super Bowl.
Yes, we can.
Megatron into the record books.
I love pro football. Every year you discover a new star.
Seahawks win the most bizarre finish you'll ever see. What a football game this turned out to be.
The Monday Night Football launch engineered by GMC Sierra. Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. The Bucs looking for win one on the season against the team that has dominated the NFL news this week, and none of it related to their play. Many eyes on Joe Philbin's 4-4 Dolphins here tonight. Good evening, everyone. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, and Lisa Salters will join me in a moment. Very challenging times for the Dolphins. As you surely know, offensive tackle Jonathan Martin left his team exactly 2 weeks ago, claiming mistreatment by guard Richie Incognito, who's been suspended by the team. While Martin has publicly remained silent, Incognito spoke out over the weekend, trying to defend the claims of mistreatment. So as the NFL investigates the situation and Miami is without two starting offensive linemen, the remaining Dolphins spent a good part of this week in the crosshairs of national conversation and criticism. Players we spoke with last night continue to express surprise at the situation, their support of Incognito, and defended their leadership within the team, while contending that the preparation for tonight's game wasn't compromised by the extra attention this week. And John, you know that coaches have to deal with distractions all the time. This is perhaps uncommon. So how do you think Joe Philbin and his staff has gone about getting the team ready for tonight?
Well, this isn't the best part of coaching, but it's a big part of coaching. And I really compliment the job that Joe Philbin did this week with his Dolphin football team. He kept them focused on football. They had quality practices, and I think they're ready to go tonight. But what I really like is the way he concentrated on the things that he can control. He's going to let this investigation take care of itself. Joe Philbin knows he has a good football team. He knows he has good coaches, and he knows he runs a good program. But if they lose to the 0-8 Bucs tonight, that's a big problem for Miami.
Let's talk about the Bucs. They're glad with everything that happened in Miami, not because of what it's done to Miami. It's taken the spotlight off a Tampa team that's had staph infections, saw the franchise quarterback get cut, and they're the last winless team in the NFL. But you watch the tape on these guys. It seems like there's more talent than 0-8 in the Buccaneer uniforms.
Yeah, there is. And when you're 0-8, a lot of the blame falls at the feet of the head coach, and certainly Greg Schiano knows that. But the Buccaneers have had plenty of opportunities to win games. They've blown 4 fourth-quarter leads already. They don't know how to close games out. So they got to turn to their star cornerback, Darrelle Revis, and demand that he makes a play or two tonight and deliver the Buccaneers their first victory. They also have a Pro Bowl defensive tackle, Gerald McCoy, who's an outstanding player, but he too can improve at crunch time at the end of games. He didn't finish last week against Seattle. And I like their rookie quarterback, Mike Glennon. The only thing he hasn't done yet is win a football game. He's got to finish better. That's what the Buccaneers need to do tonight.
They say the opportunity on the Miami side. You know that for sure. As we go into the Verizon Red Zone tonight, how important is this game for Miami? Consider this. Under the current format, if you're 4-4, which the Dolphins are, 35% of the time you make the playoffs. Here's the fork in the road tonight. 5-4s get there over half the time. 4 and 5 teams only get there 11% of the time. Historically, key fork in the road for Miami tonight. What plays out, you'll see in high definition. Our telecast presented in HD by Verizon. We'll be right back in Tampa.
Go to ESPN.com to join the live conversation, get fantasy updates, and view exclusive video commentary from the players.
Greg Schiano started 6-4, the second-year coach of Tampa. His team's lost 13 of their last 14, going for win one tonight. been tough times all around for Florida's NFL teams as we see in tonight's Windows Phone reinventing the game. Historically, Florida's known the best and the worst. 72 Dolphins, they set the bar. Still the only team with a perfect regular and postseason. Just 4 years later, the expansion Tampa Bay Bucks hit bottom, losing all 14 regular season games. But now we have 3 NFL teams in the state. Seen some good days. Remember the Jaguars' 2 AFC championship games, the Bucks winning the Super Bowl. I know that guy. And the Fins and Dan Marino and all of his great passing records. But in the last 5 years, only one Florida team's been to the playoffs, and they lost. The Dolphins, the last ray of Sunshine State hopes for this postseason. And, you know, John, it's been embarrassing with what's happened here. The Jaguars winless until yesterday, the Bucks winless, and the Dolphins stuff. As we go to the Miller Lite, Miller Time Showcase, we talked about a lot of the Miami off-the-field offensive line issues. It's translated to on-the-field issues as well.
That's where we really got to focus tonight. The great Dan Marino, who quarterbacked the Dolphins for 17 years. The most he was sacked in a season was 28 in a season. Already, Ryan Tannehill been sacked 35 times in 8 games. That's ridiculous. That won't cut it in the playoffs. And when you look at the tape, it all starts with the left tackle, Jonathan Martin, who's been in the news this week. It hasn't been good enough, and it's been consistently not good enough at left tackle. And even Richie Cognito, who made the Pro Bowl last year at left guard, hasn't played up to his standards either. So the problems off the field are one thing, but the problems on the left side are another. And when they played together, they've struggled mightily. Both of these players are gone tonight for obvious reasons, so they're going to make some replacements. Bryant McKinney at left tackle. You see Garner at left guard. They have struggled. Miami must address their pass protection. I don't care who plays left guard and left tackle for Miami. They got to straighten out the pass protection, or Tampa Bay can beat them tonight.
They keep Tannehill healthy. Key in tonight's game with the Bucks and the Dolphins. And as you know, all weekend around the league and all this Veterans Day, chance to pause and celebrate the true heroes of America. Let's join the public address announcer here in Tampa, Mr. John Magrino.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and hold up your salute to service cards and salute our nation's colors, presented by the Amputee Veterans of America Support Team. As part of the NFL's league-wide Salute to Service Military Appreciation Campaign, please welcome the United States Army Chorus performing our national anthem.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare of thirsty
And we salute the fans in Tampa showing their support during the anthem in collaboration with USAA on this Veterans Day. The Bucks and Dolphins kick off next.
You've been watching ESPN's Monday Night Football launch, engineered by GMC Sierra, the official vehicle of Monday Night Football. ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Every day has brought more news in the Jonathan Martin, Richie Incognito story, including today. Lisa Salters has more on that.
Well, Mike, Dolphins owner Steve Ross spoke to reporters here at the Bucs Stadium for the first time since Jonathan Martin left the team 2 weeks ago and Richie Incognito was suspended. Ross says he has a meeting with Martin scheduled for Wednesday to hear from Martin what happened, why he felt the way he felt, what the team could have done differently to prevent this. Ross said he was appalled to hear the initial reports about harassment and bullying in the Dolphins locker room, and if changes need to be made, he said, they will be made. When I asked Ross to respond to news I reported earlier in the day that Martin does not believe he can come back to Miami, Ross said he wants to meet with him face-to-face first, hear what he has to say, and then deal with it from there. As for Richie Incognito, Ross said he has not spoken to him yet and wants to wait to talk to Martin first. When asked if he will meet with Incognito after that, Ross said, yes, probably. Mike?
Ross and everyone else here in the stadium standing as some of the veterans are honored on this Veterans Day. In my interview with Stephen Ross that you heard a bit of on Countdown, we'll have more at halftime, our exclusive one-on-one, he was very effusive in his praise of Joe Philbin, how he has handled the situation and his support of Philbin. All of that has been of great interest in conversation. As Caleb Sturgis and the Dolphins take the field, of great interest is how will they play? Those answers will be finalized in the next 3.5 hours. Toss one by Miami, defer the option of the second half, and the Bucs bring it back with Sky Dawson across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. So the Buccaneers looking for win one, get their first chance, and it's Mike Glennon, the rookie out of North Carolina State. He's taken to the 3rd round of this year's draft. People said, wait a minute, you have Josh Freeman, you're taking Glennon? They did, and now he's been the starter the last 5 games. Had very good numbers following Russell Wilson at North Carolina State. He's listed at 6'6". At the combine, he was measured at 6'7". That height sometimes shies people away from a quarterback. The Bucs like his mobility. They like him. Although he hasn't won, he's not turning the ball over. His 6th start here tonight. Opening drive for the 24 here is Mike James, the rookie out of Miami. He gains about 5 yards as Philip Wheeler makes the tackle. And John, the Bucs had Doug Martin, terrific running back. He's out injured for the year, and now Mike James has to carry the load.
Yeah, 158 yards last week at Seattle, and that's saying something. Miami Killian High School, part-time player for the Miami Hurricanes. This kid can run with the ball between the tackles. He also has perimeter speed.
Tim Wright, the tight end, set in motion. First pass attempt for the night for Glennon is complete. Tyquan Underwood down the sideline. And Underwood down just shy of the 40-yard line. A pickup of 31 as Rashad Jones made the tackle.
So Mike Glennon can do. He can rip it. Play action pass. You get the running game going. You isolate your wide receivers on the outside one-on-one. Terrific throw by Mike Glennon. Take a look at Underwood. Little post corner move to the outside, and Carroll slipped and fell.
Underwood has become the 2nd receiver on this team as Mike Williams is out for the year, like the running back Martin. So Mike James with a carry and a very good opening drive for the Buccaneers. 33. John, give us a little thumbnail on this Tampa offense.
Well, Vincent Jackson has been the go-to receiver, and I think Tampa needs to focus on someone else. Good to see Underwood pick up the slack. Beware of Glennon's mobility. Although he's tall, he has surprising functional movement skills. And you can see, if Tampa Bay can get some balance, they take pressure off of Glennon, and they take pressure off their offensive line.
Trying to achieve some of that balance here with an extra lineman for blocking. There's a flag down, and James moves into the secondary, inside the 20, down to the 15, but it turned up field a bit early. It looks like an illegal motion flag. Jeff Triplett is our referee tonight.
Illegal motion. 46 of the offense. Going forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
And you see on this Veterans Day, Jeff Triplett, Lieutenant Colonel, Army Reserve, retired and serving not just the league, but his country. And we honor Jeff along with the others on this Veterans Day.
And these Buccaneer penalties are killing Greg Schiano. They lead the league in penalties. And that'll stymie a drive, and it's been the story of the season for Tampa Bay.
The rookie Glennon making decisions at the line. James on the run. At the first down and more. There goes James inside the 20. It's a first down for the Buccaneers inside the 50.
This Buccaneer offensive line is taking it to the Miami Dolphins. Right off the right side, watch Davin Joseph. Little reach block on the outside. Good read by the fullback, and you can see the vision of Mike James in the hole. But Tampa Bay is taking it to the teeth and the strength of the Dolphin defense.
So the 18-yard run nullified. James responds with a 24-yard run. Right back to the 5-10 back. That time he's met by Randy Starks. Only a gain of a yard or so. And that front, you mentioned the teeth for this Miami defense.
They have a capable front four, and they're massive inside with Starks and Soliai. They have every down linebackers, and they spent a lot of money on Donnell Ellerbe and Philip Wheeler. They will not come off the field. And defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle is what I call the double A gap guru. He'll stick these two linebackers in the A gaps 10 to 12 times tonight, and he has about 10 different things he can do from that alignment.
He came here from Cincinnati. And Mike Zimmer does so much of that with the Bengals. Pressure by the linebackers right over the center of the guard. Glennon's pass on the move. Vincent Jackson, first and goal. Buccaneers the 4. Third time Rashad Jones has had to make a saving tackle on this opening drive.
It's uncommon to see a 6'5", 235-pound slot receiver. Just a simple under route. And Vincent Jackson is hard to tackle. But they can move this star receiver around. He can play the split end position. He can play the flanker. And in the slot, he really gives Tampa Bay some matchup advantages. And they love to isolate him right here in the red zone at the top of the screen.
He's going up against the shorter corner, 5'10", Brent Grimes. First and goal for the 4. Looking that way. Throwing that way. Jackson. Grimes goes up and makes the play. If there's an all-Gruden grinder team, that's my choice for cornerback.
I love this guy. He used to drive me crazy in Atlanta. Watch him. He plays off coverage. He knows the route is coming. And I really think Grimes could be an Olympian acrobat. I think he's double jointed. He can contort his body unlike most corners I've ever seen. Excellent work by the former Atlanta Falcon.
His defensive coordinator last night said he is special. Brent Grimes. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers offense here on this opening drive, 4.5 in. I know a lot of folks who aren't following Miami and following Tampa. They say, well, Miami's off to the slow start. Let's remember, Tampa got off to a hot start with Greg Schiano's team as they were 0-7, traveled to 2,700 miles out to the northwest, and were up 21-0 on the Seahawks last week.
They've had some strange things happen. I said it in the pregame. They've had 4 fourth-quarter blown leads already. 2 of those double-digit leads. They have a lot of talent on this team. They must eliminate the penalties, and they have to convert in the red zone when they get these opportunities. Very important that Tampa finishes a drive and jumps on the road Dolphins.
Grimes comes over to the other side with Jackson. Eric Lorig is the fullback. On second and goal, Lorig leads the way. James to the goal line, just shy. It will be third and goal.
I am really surprised at the success that Tampa Bay has had running the ball right at the strength of the Dolphin defense. Paul Soliai, $12 million defensive tackle. Randy Starks. They have run the ball with authority between the tackles. And it looks like James is shaken up,
Yep,
Mike.
he is. Yep, he is. James down over by the huddle for the Buccaneers. He was in some pain. He was trying to fight through it. But the medical staff of Tampa out to look at the running back, who's off to a hot start. Man, it is such a bummer to see Mike James, who was getting the opportunity to be a starting running back, at 158 yards last year against Seattle. He couldn't be, had to be helped up, I should say, to the cart as they kept that leg immobilized, moving him up there. You see the tackle made by Donnell Ellerbe, and he comes right down on that left ankle. And James got up for a moment, but then was in a lot of pain. No, disappointing. 6th-round pick, John, this opportunity. They've already lost Doug Martin, their starting running back, and now they've lost Mike James. They've lost a lot of players, and very unfortunate. Look at the number of players. Mike Williams, an outstanding receiver. Lawrence Tynes. Connor Barth was the kicker before Lawrence Tynes got hurt playing basketball. Carl Nix, $25 million guard, has only played 9 games in 2 seasons here. Injuries continue to mount versus these Buccaneers. That MRSA is the staph infection that impacted the Buccaneers locker room. 3rd and goal, so now Brian Leonard's the back. A fake to him, and a touchdown for Donald Penn, the tackle. That just made Coach Schiano's night right there. They faked the power play off the right side, and Donald Penn in an unbalanced line secures the backside and leaks into the flat, and he is wide open. 2 weeks in a row, the Buccaneers have used trickery on the goal line. Last week, Mike James threw a touchdown pass on a halfback pass at the 1-yard line. How about Donald Penn, Mike? 2nd touchdown of his career, 3rd reception of his career. He had one in 2010 at San Francisco, and Penn had just celebrated 100 starts for the Buccaneers a week ago. Gets the opening touchdown. Extra point is added by Ryan Lindell. So other than the injury to James, which doesn't look good, it was a terrific start for the Buccaneers. Big fella, get up, Donald Penn, touchdown. Back in Tampa, Donald Penn, John, one of the few Buccaneers who was here when you were the head coach, gets a touchdown reception for the 2nd time in his career. You know, I can just hear him going up to Coach Schiano now saying, hey, call that again next time. I can do it again. He thinks he's Vincent Jackson now. That's the thrill of a lifetime for an offensive tackle. Good for you, Donald Penn. Michael Kanan, who's the punter, a high percentage of touchbacks, continues on that track. Not returnable for Miami and Marcus Thigpen. So Ryan Tannehill comes out, and John, let's talk about what he brings to this Dolphins offense. Well, first of all, they've got an unsettled offensive line, and that's an understatement. That group must play better, and there's been a lack of big plays. Even with the addition of Mike Wallace, just 1 TD and over 13 yards of grab. But I do think the run game is emerging. Lamar Miller has done a nice job the last 2 weeks, over 300 yards for this Dolphin running game. Ron starts from the 20, and coming to the left is Lamar Miller, not going to get back to the line of scrimmage, escorted out of bounds by Mason Foster. These Buccaneers love to blitz on early downs. Right away, you're going to see off the strong side, here comes the blitz. The front slants the other way, and it slants right into where Lamar Miller is heading. The Buccaneers love to pressure you on 1st and 2nd down to stop the run, and they've done a nice job of that for the last year and a half. After the loss of a yard, Tannehill throws the slant. It's complete to Brian Hartline. Jonathan Casillas with the tackle. It's a yard shy of the 1st down. We have a penalty marker down. Backed by the quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. It's an after the play foul. And it looks like it's on incognito for 15 yards. Here's Jeff Triplett.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 51 on the offense. Blow to the head on the defensive player. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Take a look at Pouncey. He's clearly in the cage of Akeem Spence. Punches him in the head. That's ridiculous. I don't know what Pouncey's thinking on the 2nd play of the game.
Jeff Triplett just making the announcement on that play. The 1st down was not achieved by the Dolphins on that play, so it becomes 3rd down. So it really becomes a punishing penalty. It's not like it's a post-possession foul or an after the play was over foul that keeps the down the same. You take 3rd and 1 and turn it into 3rd and 16 because of the poor judgment by the center, Mike Pouncey. It's Charles Clay, 42. The tight end in motion. Tannehill just throws that away. He was thinking about setting up the screen towards Miller, and that's a very poor start for Miami as they go 3 and out.
Well, you can hear the Buccaneer defense from up here saying, watch the screen. And Jonathan Casillas read it all the way. And the Miami Dolphins continue to have as many 3 and outs as any offense in football. A horrific start for Miami on both sides.
Brandon Fields, one of the top punters in the league. Eric Page, back to receive. Line drive kick, flag down as Page gets it at the 35 and flips it to Sky Dawson. Looking to pick up blocks. Here's Dawson. Remember, a marker is down as Dawson is finally brought down in Dolphin territory at the 45-yard line, and there's a Miami player injured on that coverage.
That's what 0-8 teams do. They pull out all the stops. Little trickery on the goal line, reverse on a punt return. There's Dave Wanstead, special teams coach, former head man of the Dolphins.
Member of the kicking team, number 25, going out of bounds voluntarily at the snap. The 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the play. First down, Tampa Bay, timeout.
So the reverse gives the Bucs good field position. Tack the flag onto that. We'll update you on the injured Dolphin in a moment.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Visit us at NavyFederal.org. The new ESPN Fanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Hurry in. Exceptional offers end soon. And ESPN.com's NFL Nation, featuring coverage of all 32 teams.
Aerial coverage on this Veterans Day 2013 from Tampa is brought to you by DirecTV. Austin Spitler was the injured Dolphin on that punt return. He walked off under his own power. Looked at the wind knocked out of him. Starting from Dolphins territory, Brian Leonard is now the back for the Buccaneers. And Leonard with a big gain. 14 yards for the former Rutgers product.
Oh, I like this running game. A lot of misdirection. Leonard's going to start one way, go the other, and watch the center, Jeremy Zuda, number 76, on a little influence pull. What a kick-out block on Rashad Jones. The Buccaneers haven't looked this good all season. Great start.
Leonard had 86 of those 184 carries in his rookie year with the Rams. Been a reserve and a third down back. He's the main guy now. Crossing is Vincent Jackson. He's got another Buccaneer first down at the 11-yard line. They're shredding the Dolphins right now. Here's an update with Lisa Salters on the injured Tampa Bay Bucs.
Hey, Mike, well, you said it. It didn't look good when Mike James was carted off of the field, but maybe not as bad as it initially looked. The Bucs are calling it an ankle injury, and James's return is questionable. He may actually return. Right?
Well, we'll see, Lisa. Didn't look very good at all as the training staff supported the leg as they raised him up on the cart. In any case, the Bucs are going to go up 2 scores early first quarter. And the give to Leonard up the middle. Taken down by Donnell Ellerby at the 6-yard line.
I don't know where Randy Starks is. I don't know where Cameron Wake is. These are their high-priced defensive linemen. We're in the first quarter. They're already out of the ball game. And Tampa Bay is taking advantage of the backups of the Miami Dolphins.
Second and 5 at the 6.
Brian Leonard, running back who's been in the league now in his 7th year, has no career rushing touchdown. Stop there, shy of the 6-yard line. Paul Soliai finally getting some push. 7th-year man out of Utah, went to the Pro Bowl a couple of seasons ago.
This is the time where you love to evaluate a young quarterback. Third down passing in the tight red zone. This is where you have to be careful. Here comes some specialist pass rushers. You see the rookie Deion Jordan. Top 5 pick out of Oregon, number 95, has been very limited in his production. But here's Tampa in a no-back set.
Get a first down to the 2. Leonard throws, and it is not held on to as Ellerby breaks up the pass intended for Leonard. And the field goal unit comes on for the Buccaneers.
And I know Brian Leonard knows the offense, but you'd like to have a quicker, little bit more athletic third down back. Nice play by Donnell Ellerby in tight coverage.
Brings on the veteran Ryan Lindell, released this August after a decade with the Bills. Mentioned Lawrence Tynes earlier, bothered by that staph infection, MRSA. Connor Barth injured before the season. So Lindell is the kicker, and that field goal gives him 1,300 points in his NFL career. And more importantly, gives Greg Schiano's team a 10-0 lead. Well, who's coming to Brazil with us? Mexico or New Zealand for the World Cup next summer? They have this 2-game playoff, and game 1 is Wednesday at Azteca, that famous venue in Mexico City, 3:15 Eastern time. And then the second game in goal differential helps decide. New Zealand will host in Wellington late Tuesday night. And our John Sutcliffe, who covers the sidelines for Monday Night Football for ESPN Deportes, he travels with the Mexican national team. John will be there, not just at Azteca, but he'll also be in Wellington. I look forward to this 2 games. Marcus Big Pen didn't get to the 10. Great coverage, Adam Hayward. And the Bucs playing fired up, inspired ball.
Miami better wake up, because Tampa Bay is taking it to them.
Oh, what fun it is to ride. Get the Mercedes-Benz on your wish list at the winter event going on now. But hurry, the offer ends soon.
Lease the 2014 ML350 for $599 a month at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
I can speak for myself. I have my own voice. I know what I believe in and what I have to say. My voice is powerful. It's my declaration and everything I've got. I'll say what I have to say, even if I can't speak. Because I don't just wear a New Era cap. I speak with one.
Daddy, it's time for my princess show.
Fear of missing out on football can strike at any moment. Download NFL Mobile and get every touchdown on Sunday afternoons with NFL Red Zone from Verizon.
Don't think we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers.
No, that's not it. You're that State Farm discount double check guy.
Discount double check.
Save with the discount double check today. Get to a better state. State Farm.
Got lots of changes on the Miami offensive front. The focus has been on the left side with Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito. Martin did not play well at the left tackle, was moved to right tackle. They acquired Bryant McKinney, the veteran, trade from Baltimore. That's going into the Patriots game. Then Martin leaves the team, as you know. Tyson Clabo, a veteran, comes in and starts at right tackle against the Bengals. Incognito injured in that game, so Nate Garner, versatile veteran, stepped in against Cincinnati last Thursday night and now gets the start. So that left side of the offensive line remade for the Dolphins. We've got 2 tight ends over there next to them to start this drive at their own 8. And Tannehill gives to Lamar Miller. That's a run of 4, John, to the 12-yard line.
All these changes on the offensive line are really difficult on the offensive coordinator, Mike Sherman. They want to be a no-huddle offense, but a lot of these players don't know the plays. They don't know the signals. McKinney just got here, Mike. And remember, they lost their slot receiver, Brandon Gibson. They're already missing Keller, their tight end. So it's really put the shackles on the Miami Dolphin offense.
After the run by Miller for 4, that pass by Tannehill is complete to Brian Hartline, 50-year receiver out of Ohio State. John, we saw Tannehill in the game that they lost in New Orleans to the Saints after the 3-0 start. The 8th overall pick in the draft. Played for Mike Sherman, who's the offensive coordinator now. He was the play caller and head coach at Texas A&M. His development here is something we're watching and hard to judge because of the reasons you just gave us.
I'd like to see him use his legs more, especially in these 3rd down and 2 to 3 situations.
We'll go with 4 receivers on 3rd and 3. Bucks rush 4, and Tannehill gets rid of it quick. It's caught for the first down by Rishard Matthews, who has stepped into that slot receiver role after the season-ending injury to Brandon Gibson.
That's not easy. Stepping in for Brandon Gibson. You're in the slot. You outside release. This is a back shoulder fade, and nice concentration in a crowd by Rishard Matthews, a man they're going to lean on heavily in Miami down the stretch. And that slot receiver position is difficult. You got to read coverages. Zone, man, 2 deep, 3 deep. Hard job.
Off the Miami first down of the night. It's a run to the left with Miller, and he'll get tackled for a yard. That's Mason Foster, that middle linebacker, on this talented but underperforming to this point Bucs defense.
Well, look for a lot of early down blitzes. We've seen some already. Defensive coordinator Bill Sheridan likes to pepper you with 1st and 2nd down blitzes. And I think this Buccaneer team has an underachieving pass rush. I want to see more from Daquan Bowers and Adrian Claiborne in particular. And Darrelle Revis and Deshaun Goldson are the money players. They need to make some money plays tonight.
2 guys who've been in the league 6 years in other places. A lot of money spent via free agency to bring them in this year. 2nd and 9, Tannehill. Pocket collapsing, shot down the field. Incomplete off the hands of Charles Clay. Adrian Claiborne pounds the quarterback just as he got rid of it.
That's what you want to see from your ex-first round draft choice. Going to be a blitz off the right side, and Claiborne coming off the left side of your screen, one-on-one on a stunt. Gets to Tannehill. But Charles Clay needs to pick up his quarterback and make this throw. Once again, Tannehill continues to go down hard.
3rd and 9. Pressure from Tannehill's left is picked up, and his shot down the field from Matthews is incomplete. It'll be 4th down and a punt.
Tampa Bay has a read on Miami when they're in the shotgun. They're getting off the ball quickly. Watch John Jerry turn around and look to Tannehill. He's going to turn around. We missed it there. We'll show it to you here in just a second. But every time John Jerry turns around to see Tannehill, these Buccaneers are getting a jump on Pouncey snapping the football in the gun.
Dolphins go to the full college football punt look as Brandon Fields booms it. Fair caught at the 19-yard line by Eric Page. Bucks ball up 10. Late stages, quarter 1. All the attention on the Dolphins. It's been a nightmare for the Bucks as well. Josh Freeman was cut. Mike Glennon, the rookie, takes over at quarterback. Then you had that rare staph infection, MRSA, very contagious. It was an issue for the players within the team. They have not won a game, although being close, and one of the local radio stations fueling the fire with electronic billboards, fire Schiano. So Greg Schiano feeling the heat here. We spoke with him. His confidence positive, remaining upbeat, the 47-year-old who took Rutgers from the bottom of the barrel in college football and got them to 6 bowl games in his last 7 seasons. They brought in Schiano to replace Raheem Morris and change the culture. It was too loose. He was brought in to tighten the ship, and so the passengers on the ship haven't enjoyed that. From the 19, the rookie Glennon taking off, and Glennon slides after 5.
There's that functional mobility. Glennon is not a statue back here in the pocket. But I have no idea where the pass rush is. Play action pass. Glennon looking down the field. He scrambles to his right and decisively puts the ball away and runs for a first down. That's what this franchise needs, Mike. I used to coach here. Let me tell you. They need a franchise quarterback that can consistently get it done week in and week out. This is a huge audition for Mike Glennon.
First down run of 5. He gives to Leonard up the middle. And Brian Leonard right close to a first down at the 29-yard line. You had Glennon just down the road at the FFCA, the Gruden quarterback. What'd you think of him coming out of NC State?
Well, I got to say this carefully because I get confused. My old quarterback was Rich Gannon. This is Glennon. He has a cannon, okay? Glennon has a cannon. There is no question about that. There's a lot of Joe Flacco mannerisms in Mike Glennon. You've seen it early already, and he's very sharp and passionate about the game. I think he's got a bright future.
Alert! 59's Mike. Delta.
First down achieved that last one from the 29. Time taking the shot towards Vincent Jackson with Brent Grimes, a flag.
I don't see that call at all.
We come all the way downfield here and be about a 35-yard penalty. Jackson was trying to come back to the ball. Let's see if Grimes impeded his path coming back inside to try to make the catch.
Pass interference, defense number 21. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, Grimes got Vincent Jackson on a goal line this time. Vincent Jackson on a go route. I didn't see enough there, but I don't understand pass interference.
Jackson's trying to work back, but he's also tackled Grimes along the way. 35 officially on the penalty. From the 36 of Miami, Leonard looking right, and he's going to be the lead back for the rest of the night. Update from the Tampa sideline. Mike James is now out for the rest of the game with that ankle injury. They termed him questionable. Didn't look like he would return, and he will not. So they've lost Martin, who was terrific, third in yards from scrimmage last year. James, the rookie, steps in. He's now out. Leonard and Bobby Rainey are their only two halfbacks. They have two fullbacks dressed here tonight. On 2nd and 9, here is Leonard finding space. The flag down, though, right through that hole that was opened up real wide. Maybe there's a reason.
Holding, number 79 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat, second down.
Meredith out of South Carolina, former Packer draft pick. Played with the Steelers, the Giants.
Take a look at Meredith at left guard, number 79. Hold'em. Meredith is the 5th different left guard. I've heard of changing of the guards, Mike, but the Bucs have had 5 different starters at left guard. I like that.
That was really good. See what happens when you sleep in your own bed?
Oh, it's great to be home.
I didn't know I was standing next to royalty here tonight. The guy who brought this franchise their Super Bowl. This at the break is, of course, Warren Sapp's night. Warren Sapp's name will be up in the Ring of Honor, and is John, who was recognized by the folks here in Tampa, and the fans a nice standing ovation at the end of the quarter. Nice of you to hold up Warren's old jersey.
A lot of great times here, Mike. Sapp was something else.
And Bobby Rainey is now the running back for the Bucs. And off first down, Glennon takes a shot down the field. The first play of the second quarter, I should say, for Sky Dawson. And that pass is incomplete. Speaking of those numbers in the first quarter, just 1 first down for Miami, 8 for Tampa, with 10 points and 126 yards. Best starting quarter for the Bucs in their first 9 games.
And it might be the worst starting quarter for the Miami Dolphins all season. They have not showed up tonight. Critical they get off the field in this 3rd down and extra long situation.
3rd and 19, Glennon. That is not intercepted. Chris Clemens has been playing very well At that safety spot for the Dolphins, just couldn't scoop that up. But back at their 45-yard line, it'll be a punt for Michael Kanan.
Mike just overthrew Vincent Jackson in the slot. I'm really surprised that Miami has not dialed up some pressure, something, to get after the rookie quarterback. So far, they've been able to run it and throw it, but a key stop that time by the Dolphins.
Pressure on as Kanan gets it away, hangs it very high and try to down it inside the 5. And it is stopped and kicked and held on to by Michael Adams. He never touched the goal line, so a 4.7 on the hang time. Good run down by Adams and a long field for the Dolphins. Looking forward to next Monday night. We go to Charlotte. We'll see the red-hot Panthers, who've won 5 in a row. At 6-3, a game behind the Saints, take on Tom Brady and the Patriots. Blew out the Steelers last time out, had the week off to rest. 7-2 New England, 6-3 Carolina. Brady, Cam, and you. Monday night in Charlotte, 6:30 Monday night countdown, 8:25. We'll get it going. Speaking of getting it going, what will Miami do from the 2? Third-year man Daniel Thomas now in the backfield, and the run up the middle goes nowhere. He loses a yard, as a matter of fact, as Gerald McCoy busted in there on Charles Clay, playing fullback.
Well, this doesn't look like an 0-8 team, but Gerald McCoy against Nate Garner. Inside penetration, and he devours William Clay.
And that's Incognito's spot. That left side of the offensive line has changed.
Wallace and Revis at the bottom of the screen. I'd take a shot sooner or later. That's why Wallace is here.
That's a safety as Thomas is tackled by Levante David.
He's a lot more than the Gruden grinder this week. This kid can play. And Miami might get blown out of here. They're not ready to play, and Tampa Bay is. It's a credit to Greg Schiano on both sides of the ball. With lightning quickness, Levante Davis shoots a gap. Nobody accounts for him. Pouncey's not there, and you cannot make a mistake in this league on your own 1-foot line. That is bad blocking by the Miami Dolphins in a backed-up situation. And Levante David rings them up.
People raving about this second-round pick from Nebraska, David, who comes up with the safety. So Miami won the game the last time they played on a Thursday night against Cincinnati with a safety at the end of the game by Cameron Wake. They get a safety handed to their offense on the play by David. And John, to your point here, Miami defensively has had no push. Offensively, the line, especially the left side, the last 2 plays hasn't been good. And you will start to wonder, distraction, focus, any of that stuff. It's hard to say. We're only a minute into the second quarter. But they have not come out with the starch that I thought we were going to see from them.
No, they gave Tampa a long scoring drive. For the first time all year, Tampa Bay took the opening possession down for a touchdown. Pouncey punches a man on the second offensive play. Miami does not look ready to play. And in this league, you will get buried if that's the case.
Free kick from the 20 by Fields. He's another odd-looking one on the line drive. Picked up by Bobby Rainey across the 40, and Rainey returns it to the 42-yard line. That's a couple not hit well by the punter, Fields.
Just take a look, Mike, at the running game of the Buccaneers. Doug Martin, their star tailback, is out, but every lineman, watch the tight end inside release, Timothy Wright, sets up a big run by Mike James. They've run inside, they've run outside. Watch the center, Jeremy Zuta, on a design cutback run. These are chalkboard clinic runs, and they are physically taking it to Miami, and they're setting up some early down play action opportunities. Defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle has to do something to wake up his Dolphin defense.
On first down, Glennon right back at it, drifts left, gets it to Brian Leonard, gets a man miss, makes another one, and Leonard into Dolphin territory. And the 45 as Wheeler made the tackle.
Oh, it's just bad tackling. Not much pressure. You're going to see the outlet back right here, Brian Leonard. He gets out on his check down because there's no pass rush. And then Trusnick misses a tackle. Wheeler misses a tackle. Wow, you got to wrap people up.
Jason Trusnick, usually a special teamer, starting tonight with the injured Koa Misi. That time, good solid hit from Chris Clemens. And coming from that safety position to stop Leonard, along with Paul Soliai. Almost no gain, perhaps even a loss of a yard.
That's the first blitz I've seen from Miami. And Kevin Coyle is an excellent defensive coach. He comes from the Cincinnati Bengals. He does have a litany of sub pressures. I'd expect him quickly to get to one of these blitzes to try to rattle the young quarterback.
Sits him down, Leonard, occasionally trying to find some space and moves forward to the 42-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and about 8 coming up.
Oh, here they come, the Miami specialist rushers. We've talked about Deion Jordan, their first-round draft choice. Jared Odrick, another first-round draft choice out of Penn State. 3rd down and 8. This has been a pressure down for Miami's defense all season. Let's see if they bring it here.
Confusion as to who's coming, who's dropping. On 3rd and 8, Miami brings 5, and Glennon's pass is complete. Open is Taekwon Underwood for the first down. Down to the 26-yard line of Miami.
When you play man-to-man, you have to sort these stacks and these bunches out. That time you're going to see Taekwon Underwood. He's the inside man in the bunch. He's just going to break to the outside. And Miami clearly blows the coverage. You have to be able to sort these stacks out if you're playing man-to-man coverage. That time, Miami didn't do a very good job, and that's nice execution by the Bucs.
Second-year man out of Western Kentucky, Bobby Rainey, is now the running back along with Leonard. A gain of 2 yards. Rainey, slight, 5'8", over 200 pounds. Started this year with Cleveland, was waived and picked up by Tampa. John, he was hanging around the Ravens camp last year. We saw him in the preseason. I know he opened your eyes.
Yes, he did, and he's an all-purpose back. This kid can catch the ball coming out of the backfield, and I don't think in a million years Rainey thought he would be given this opportunity this early in the season.
Here he is on 2nd and 8, trying to bounce it to the left. He's stopped and thrown back. Jared Odrick started it, and Chris Clemens is taking out some of his frustration. I've called his name a bunch here.
Yes, you have, but you do see the effort by Tampa Bay to run the football, Mike. They want more balance in this offense. Glennon threw over 40 passes in his first 4 starts in the NFL. That's never been done in the history of the game, but they're making an effort to run the ball to take pressure off of him and his offensive line, and so far it's worked and kept Miami off balance.
In coverage over the top with Underwood. Defended by Grimes. Glennon looking left and throws. Complete to Jackson. Made 2 spin moves, but finally Jimmy Wilson and the backup DBs playing in the multiple defensive back set made the tackle. Let's see what happens here on 4th down.
You know, one of the things you do, Mike, with these double A gap looks is sometimes you bail them out of here and you try to create some one-on-ones for your best pass rusher. Just watch the left side of your screen. That's Deion Jordan, the number 3 pick in the draft. He's got to take advantage of one-on-one opportunities. So far, Donald Penn has had no problem with Deion Jordan. The pocket has been extremely clean.
4th and a yard. They'll come out to show the field goal attempt. 35 yards from Ryan Lindell out of the Michael Keenan hole. A couple of field goals, an extra point, a safety, a touchdown, and a big lead for the Bucs.
Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. Enter the Never Say Never sweepstakes for a chance to win a 2014 GMC vehicle at gmc.com/NFL. NFL Mobile. Never have the fear of missing out on football. Call *NFL now. And IBM. Let's build a smarter planet. Visit IBM.com/smarterplanet.
From World War I to the Iraq War, 35,000 square foot museum here in Tampa, the Armed Forces History Museum, and throughout the night around the country. So great to see so many of the veterans honored, respected, and thanked for all of their service to the country and their families as well, who make just as significant a sacrifice. And what an honor it is to be a part of this. A great salute to service along with the NFL and all of us Americans. 15-0 Buccaneers in control. Dolphins, as has been the story for the week, taking a punch to the gut. No return and a touchback. Marcus Thigpen catches it. See if the Dolphins can catch up. American soldier. I'm an American soldier. In honor of Veterans Day, every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games. League donating $100 to each of its nonprofit partners: Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and the Wounded Warrior Project. NFL.com salute for you to learn more. Tannehill from the 20, take it over, taking a shot downfield, and it's out of bounds. Mike Wallace could not catch it. Tannehill hit the deck as he was rushed on the play.
Well, Tannehill's got to make this throw. We said they're going to blitz on first down. Miami picks it up. They have the speed demon, Mike Wallace, one-on-one. Here comes the blitz off the weak side. The pickup is good enough. Tannehill has Mike Wallace wide open, and the ball is out of bounds. Tannehill has struggled throwing the football in recent weeks.
Wallace, the speedster, looking to break out on this Miami team. Darrelle Revis covering him so far tonight. He's passed to Charles Clay, who has stepped into the role of tight end nicely in a gain of 7.
I don't know if it's the lack of protection, what it is, but in the last few weeks, Mike, there's been a number of times where Tannehill has been off target, and it's costing him games. In the middle of the field, on the outside, he's out of rhythm. The decision-making hasn't always been good, but he's missing throws, and he just missed Mike Wallace for a touchdown. He's got to catch fire quickly.
He's got Daniel Thomas as the back on 3rd down and 3. Pressure coming. Picked up for the moment. Tannehill throws complete to Rashard Matthews for the first down at the 38-yard line.
That's a heck of a throw by Tannehill. That's the Ryan Tannehill Miami Dolphin fans want to see. Gerald McCoy on the left side of your screen on a stunt. Once again, clean, beating down on Tannehill. That time he stands in there and throws a strike.
First time past their own 30 all night. Daniel Thomas has the back. I think Michael Agnew lead the way, and there's not a lot in the way except those pewter pants of the Bucs.
That's what offensive coordinator Mike Sherman told us last night. We are not a good first down team. A lot of teams worry about 3rd down, rightfully so, but Miami has really struggled getting ahead of the chains on first down, and these 2nd and long situations have really been difficult on a struggling offensive line. When they know you're passing it, Miami's had a hard time blocking it.
6 rushes, 2 yards to the Dolphins. They have not run right. 3 rushes up the middle, 3 to the left. This is to the right, and Mike Wallace going down. Darrelle Revis. People are wondering when they're going to see the Revis pre-knee injury from his Jets days. A big play there by Revis.
Well, he knew Mike Wallace was going to run a couple quick screens tonight. And you want to see a man put his foot in the ground and attack the ball. That's excellent trigger by Darrelle Revis. He beat William Clay to the punch. That's a Darrelle Revis I remember.
Yep. 6 years with the Jets, traded here in the offseason, signing the 6-year, $96 million deal, rehabbing from an ACL injury last year. 3rd and 15, Tannehill underneath. Nowhere to go for Wallace as Mark Barron, the safety they took with the 7th pick out of Alabama back in 2012, forces Miami off the field.
There's some talent here. This is a very versatile and athletic safety. Mark Barron, he can play linebacker in their dime package. Won 2 national championships at Alabama, but you have Deshaun Goldson, Mark Barron, and Darrelle Revis in your secondary. You would think it'd be pretty good, Mike.
I totally agree. That's why I said before they've been underachieving so far. Fields, who's one of the best kickers in the league, has hit a couple of line drives so far tonight. 55 yards, but a chance with some space to return. And Eric Page up the middle and out of the left. Page at the kicker. Has the kicker. Page with 1 man to beat. Couldn't get past him. But a great return as DJ Campbell, just signed by the Dolphins today, saves the touchdown on the Eric Page return.
Everybody's having fun tonight for Tampa. Eric Page was an underclassman that came out of Toledo a year early. A slot receiver that's serving as the punt returner just set Tampa Bay up again.
The punt was 55. It was low. The return was 52. Well, it hasn't just been in South Florida. It's been nationally. Every paper you pick up, the conversation, not just on sports talk, but other talk shows around the country has been the culture of the locker room. What happened in Miami? Every drip that came out of the faucet with news became news that was analyzed and reported, and there's certainly plenty to play out on this, but without a doubt, Miami, the culture of the NFL locker room, so many things have been put into focus, and the leadership on the team has been questioned, and we talked to Joe Philbin, the coach of the Dolphins, about that yesterday, and the veteran players that we spoke to, and they felt like the locker room was together and able to do their work this week once the media left and they got down to football each day. Led in from the 40. Here's the pressure off the edge, and there's a sack. Loss of 11 yards as Nolan Carroll comes up and makes a play, a much-needed play for this Miami defense. And, John, that's the question that has been at the center of this, accountability throughout for everyone involved, starting with the head coach and the leadership on the team.
Yeah, it's been very difficult, and I still don't know how all of this is possible. You know, when you're the head coach, you have a player programs coach. You have 2 different trainers. You have 3 different strength coaches. You have 22 different coaches. I just can't believe this has happened. I can't wait until the investigation is complete.
2nd and 20. Here's the run by Leonard up the middle for about 4 yards. To the point that you made, there's a player engagement representative for each team in the league. It happens to be Caleb Thornhill for the Dolphins. That's one avenue. There's team security, the NFL Players Association, the leaders on the team, like Pouncey, Tannehill, the Leadership Council. The 800 numbers for players who have issues. For whatever reason, the avenues available to Jonathan Martin were not examined, and Stephen Ross is trying to find out why. The owner of the Dolphins. You'll hear more from him in my interview with him coming up at halftime. 3rd and 15 for Glennon. It throws over the middle. It is incomplete. Good play by Brent Grimes, getting a hand on it as Tyquan Underwood was trying to break free. That's an important 3-and-out stop for this Miami defense,
to say the least. Grimes undercuts Underwood, but the corner blitz on 1st down. Excellent call by Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, on a sudden change. Let's see if Miami can do something before the first half is done.
Marcus Thigpen back. Last time Michael Kanan was able to pin the Finns at their own 2. Very high end-over-end kick. Tough to catch, but fair caught at the 9 by Thigpen. And Miami's had very poor field position. They only have 2 first downs and 46 yards. For the overtime win on the safety last Thursday night at home against Cincinnati, trying to tie the Jets at 5-4, and although it's way early to start talking about this, that's the last playoff spot for the moment, the 6th spot in the AFC at 5-4. A lot of the 4-loss teams lost yesterday. Tannehill starting from the 10, 3rd time to the hands of Rashard Matthews, and a gain of 8.
This offensive line from Miami better pick it up. Pouncey punches a Buck a 15-yard penalty. Then if you keep watching, Adrian Claiborne plants Ryan Tannehill. Then it's McCoy smashing Charles Clay, and then Levante David blasts through there for a safety. Miami's got to block better, or they're going to get blown out of here.
It's an empty backfield now on 2nd and 3. And Tannehill's complete. The first down. Again, Matthews. Deshaun Goldson takes him down for the 2nd straight time.
It's one of the things you have to do if you're Mike Sherman, the offensive coordinator. Throw the quick game. You've seen quick screens. You've seen quick slants. You have to get rid of the ball before the rush gets in on you. Nice adjustment by Mike Sherman.
And picking up the tempo here, under 3 minutes in this first half. Throw is complete at the 40-yard line. And again, it's Goldson on the stop. The helmet comes off, and there's a little disagreement. A flag is thrown as Goldson continued to go at it with Matthews. 3rd time in a row they've gone head-to-head after a catch.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 38. Headbutt. 15 yards, added the end of the play, first down.
Headbutt, you know, Goldson's history. He's been suspended once. That was overturned. Got fined $100,000. $30,000 fine. Wow, Matthews had his helmet off, and Goldson got that face mask right into the face. Cost him 15.
Well, you spent $41 million for a safety. You're not paying for that with a 15-point lead in a 2-minute drill against an offense that hasn't done anything. Why would you give them a free pass?
They also have earned them a letter from the league office next week. First snap in Bucs territory for Miami here tonight. And it's a run with Lamar Miller, going to lose 2. Then at the safety, Levante David joins William Golston, not related to Goldson, on the tackle.
Levante David is a great open field tackler. And that's not a meet and greet in the hole either.
They're on fire tonight. 2-minute warning.
They're working, man.
Toyota halftime coming up. Chris Berman in the studio. Part 2 of my interview with the Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross, that we conducted just a few hours ago. Sunday soundtracks, on-field listen to some of the stuff that happened in the league. And Warren Sapp's name goes up in the Ring of Honor. They'll have that ceremony. As a matter of fact, the end zone to our right. A lot of the Buccaneers who are here to honor the first ballot Hall of Famer, Warren Sapp, are being introduced. John, a lot of your players from the World Championship, the Super Bowl 37 champs, with Barber and Lynch. So many familiar faces. Nice chapeau out of Derek Brooks tonight.
That brings tears to my eyes, Mike. That's a great group of guys here to honor one of the all-time greats.
There's Mike Allstott among those. Nice moment here as they were all introduced.
That guy would hit you.
John Lynch does a tremendous job on Fox as an analyst. So you see all those folks in the background as Warren Sapp, one of the tremendous players, one of the best players in the history of this franchise, will have his name put up into the Ring of Honor at Raymond James Stadium. 2 minutes left. Any replays initiated by the booth upstairs? No challenges by the coaches. Best looking Dolphin drive of the night. First time in Bucs territory. Tannehill a throw on the run. Hartlaw to the 28. Give him 19 and a Miami first down.
That's good pass protection and a good rhythmic delivery by Tannehill. This is where he's at his best. Mike Sherman, Tannehill together at A&M. Love this no-huddle spread system.
Able to jump into it. The reason they've been effective, again, Marshall, 4th catch on the drive to the 24. And you said one of the concerns was the offensive line not being together for a long time. It'd be harder to do this.
Not only that, Rashard Matthews, the slot receiver, is new at his position, and there's another injury on his offensive line. Looks like right tackle Tyson Claybo is struggling. Let's see if Bowers can take advantage of that.
You saw it, so Bowers has to see it. Coming after Claybo, does a good job. And Matthews again The man who caught most of his college passes from Colin Kaepernick at Nevada. Big on this drive. Dolphins in the red zone with a minute remaining and a Miami timeout. Miami team that for its first 4 drives had very low total, just 31 yards. They're moving it down the field well on this drive. From the 13, Tannehill, it is caught. Lavonte David able to bring down Michael Agnew at the 6.
And plenty of time with 2 timeouts left. Running the football not out of the question. But Matthews in the slot has eaten Tampa up on this drive.
Tannehill has caught fire. 11 completions in a row. And from the 6, look at end zone, touchdown. He deserves the touchdown on that drive. Rashard Matthews had almost as many catches on that drive as he had all season.
He doesn't lack confidence. He lacks experience. And he's going to have a lot more confidence now because he just shredded Tampa right down the field. No idea what coverage they're playing, but you're going to see on the left side of your screen, Matthews enter from right to left and nobody's home. But I go back to the penalty on Goldson. Ridiculous.
Extra point is added by Caleb Sturgis. So Rashard Matthews, the second-year receiver out of Nevada, had 10 receptions coming into tonight. He had 6 on that drive, 7 I should say, for 61 yards and the touchdown.
Well, you have a 15-point lead and you have a post-snap, post-whistle infraction, a headbutt that gives Miami a 15-yard penalty. Great field position. And then I think Goldson just blew the coverage in the goal line there, but Greg Schiano has to be wondering, why can't we sustain a high level of play? There it is, Mike. They had a 21-0 lead last week against Seattle. They looked like an NFC champion. And then they got their doors blown off in the second half. They have to sustain a high level of play throughout the course of a football game, and they've got to keep their poise. I know there's an urgency to get that first win, but Goldson, he's too good of a player to make a play like that.
Kickoff gets all the way back to the end zone, and it's a touchback taken by Sky Dawson. Tannehill got on a great roll at the end of that drive.
Well, he hit 5 throws, and they protected well, and he threw some excellent pinpoint passes in tight windows. But Rashard Matthews did a lot of the damage in the slot. But these are excellent throws. The protection picked up, and Joe Philbin woke his Dolphins up in the nick of time. That's a huge momentum boost as you hit the locker room.
A great adjustment. Let's go to what Tannehill does well, give him some confidence, and he got on that roll with the completions. Glennon will take a knee, so Miami scores, and they get the ball coming out of the locker room for the second half. Fans here in Tampa won't go too far from their seats for the Warren Sapp ceremony. Lisa runs down there with Joe Philbin. We'll hear what he has to say before the second half when his team gets the ball. Here's Chris now and the Toyota halftime. Boomer.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. So the Dolphins get on the board right at the end. Maybe we have a game after all. Good to be with everyone. Welcome to Toyota halftime. After tonight, every NFL team will be into their second half of their own seasons.
Back in Tampa, great ceremony just wrapped up. So many of the Bucs out to honor Warren Sapp, the 5th name up in the Ring of Honor here, joining Jimmy Giles, Leroy Selman, great Coach McKay, and Paul Gruber. 5 Bucs, including now the newly minted first ballot Hall of Famer who got his Hall of Fame ring and addressed the crowd and his teammates.
Along to my teammates and my coaches, especially John Gruden and Tony Dungy. I join our legendary coach, John McKay, the greatest of all Bucs, Leroy Selman.
Thank you, Steve. It is truly a pleasure to be here tonight.
So many honored by Warren Sapp in his remarks down on the field. And John, he said that my bust in Canton, Ohio, may say from Florida, and where that bust is in Canton, but his heart's right here in Tampa. And I know that over the years, you and Warren Sapp went through so many great moments on that Super Bowl championship season and beyond.
He made a lot of us great coaches. He really did. I had a lot of fun coaching them. And if there was one guy I could get in a foxhole with, I'd take Warren Sapp. He was a great game day performer. He set a tempo here that I've never seen before. And God bless Warren. He is well deserving of all the honors that he's had.
He probably told you a good joke or two over the way he is.
He told me what to do, and I tried my best to do it. I just followed his lead, but I'm really happy for him. Yeah. He's special.
Such a great defense with Sapp and Brooks and Lynch. You talk about leaders at each level of a defense that was so much a part of your Super Bowl championship team here 11 years ago. And there it is, Raymond James Stadium, number 99, and the name Sapp. The 5th to go up here in Bucs history, to be remembered forever. Third quarter time now. Miami gets the ball after their very good and only good drive of the night. The last time they had it, 15-7, and taking it out from deep will be Marcus Big Pen. He'll be stopped shy of the 20-yard line. Go down to Lisa Salters.
Hey, Michael, Joe Philbin told me that the difference between the way his team ended the half and the way they started the game was players finally started making some plays. He said early on the Bucs were controlling and outplaying them in every phase of the game. He said they were controlling the line of scrimmage. We had trouble running the ball, but we finally put a drive together, and that's what we got to do, continue to make plays. I asked Greg Schiano what he said to his guys at halftime. He said, we cannot have those mental lapses. Not who we are. We got to play Buck football. For most of the game so far, we played well, he said, but we cannot have those mental mistakes. Mike?
Well, Lisa, Miami had their success spreading out the Bucs, going with that no huddle. They're back under center as Tannehill's first down pass is incomplete, as he tried to get it to Mike Wallace.
Just don't know why it's so hard to get Mike Wallace going in this offense. It's another early down blitz. Seems like Wallace is wide open. He's falling away from the football out of his break. 2 catches, -2 yards. Miami's paying for a lot more production. Wallace needs to pick it up.
That one stopped a career best 12 in a row completions for Tannehill. They did not run for any yards in the first half, and minimal gain there for Lamar Miller.
You know, Mike Wallace had a lot of great success early in his career as a deep receiver in Pittsburgh. And there were people that said he's a one-trick pony. He likes to go deep. He's an outstanding deep ball receiver, but they need Mike Wallace to do some other things to impact this offense. He's a very talented wide receiver, but so far, Revis has shut him out.
Remember week 1, he didn't see the ball a lot, voiced his displeasure, was targeted a lot week 2. Can't get him rolling now. He and Revis at the bottom of the screen, and we have a timeout taken by the Bucs defense. They had 10 players on the field. Greg Schiano's staff saw that, whether on the sideline or upstairs, and able to get it before they got caught. One shot. But the numbers in the first half, you see those no rushing yards from the Dolphins. That's the 3rd time this year that an NFL team has had 0 or fewer rushing yards in the first half. Cleveland and New Orleans the other one. They go back to 2006, the last time it happened for the Dolphins in the first half.
And field position has been a huge problem for Miami. You see the average drive start there, -12, and that's just where they are right now in a critical 3rd down and 9.
I know your eyes, your head coaching eyes, saw a team that was missing something. Did you see it come back a little bit in that last drive of that first half for Miami?
I did, and it might be a season-saving drive at the end of this night.
3rd and 9. Bucs peel back. Tannehill got a good look at what they were going to do, and is able to fire for the first down. And Matthews having a career of a night here.
It's a 3-man rush. It's a maximum zone. And I have no idea who covers this slot receiver, but it's going to be a 3-man rush. There's 8 Buccaneers in coverage, and there's nobody near the slot receiver who catches an easy first down.
Matthews has 9 catches in the first half, plus a minute and a half. He had 10 coming into the game. He's stepping in again for Brandon Gibson, who tore his patella tendon against the Patriots, and stepping into that slot role nicely right now. Tannehill going incomplete. Michael Egnew, the tight end, was in a 2-receiver route on the right with Mike Wallace. And John, you mentioned a season-saving drive. The impact on the field and to the team of the whole incognito and Martin Curry. You said, I love very well what you sensed from Miami. If they lost to the Bucs, they were going to deal with a week of questions pointing back to the off-field stuff as the reason for the on-field result.
Yes, this is a huge game for Miami. They must win this football game.
Play action, Tannehill, complete. And Brian Hartline tackled after the catch to 43 in front of the rookie Jonathan Banks.
Pass protection is the key to this drive. You're going to see on the left side of your screen, Hartline on a deep breaking inside route, but Tannehill has time to hitch twice. Clean pocket, accurate throw. Miami has rallied as an offensive line after struggling early.
Fourth catch for Hartline. He has 46 yards. Get any run game going. Trying with Miller. It's a yard and a half maybe as Deshaun Goldson and Mason Foster come up to make the tackle.
0 yards rushing.
Tackled by number 38, Deshaun Goldson.
You know, I think Mike Wallace has got to do a better job on a perimeter as a blocker. You're going to see just the stalk block on the outside against Darrelle Revis. These wide receivers have to block and clear up the outside running lanes for these backs.
It's been Wallace and Revis, who went against each other a couple of times in their former homes, Pittsburgh and the Jets. Tannehill throwing to his left for Hartline, and that's the rookie Banks in coverage over there. I mentioned Banks, a rookie. He's a second-round pick, John. We've talked about Revis. Goldson, who came in as a free agent from San Francisco. Mark Barron out of Alabama. If Banks can continue to grow, that's a heck of a secondary Tampa's put together.
No question. And Banks only ran 4.61 at the combine. One of the slowest corners at Indianapolis. But the kid can play football, and he is a Darrelle Revis note-taker. He follows Revis everywhere.
Let's see if the Bucs can stop Rashard Matthews out of the slot at the top of the screen. He's killed him all night. Tannehill throws incomplete. Intended for Charles Clay and Levante David on the coverage. And after a couple of first downs, Miami will be forced to kick it away.
You know, David can do a lot of things, and covering tight ends and backs out of the backfield is one of them. Nice work. Spread punt formation. How about this, Mike? You don't see this often in the NFL.
Second time they've done it. The issue hasn't been the formation, it's been the punting. Fields has struggled. This is more Fields-like. Good hang time. Angled to the pylon and out of bounds inside the one.
Oh, what a punt. That looked like one of your chip shots,
yeah, right.
Mike. He stuck that one.
Yeah, out of bounds. 55 on a kick. Quarterbacks, old school, new school. Brady, Cam Newton. What a matchup we have next Monday night in Charlotte. Think about Brady and the Patriots. They scored 7 touchdowns against the Steelers last time out. The Panthers have given up 4 touchdowns in their last 5 games. Hasn't been a matchup like that since 1968 in the league. We'll have it next Monday night. Brian Leonard trying to run off the goal line, gains a yard, so as Tampa is backed up here at their own 1. We remind you, if you were not with us in the first half, Mike James, who was getting the role as the running back at 158 yards last week against Seattle, injured his ankle. He's out for the rest of the game. So Brian Leonard and Bobby Rainey are the backs who have to support the rookie quarterback Mike Glennon for the rest of the night.
Got to be careful with Vincent Jackson at the bottom of the screen. The front is loaded.
Leonard hands. Leonard dangerous as he tried to make a cut. He came out of the end zone. Ball coming all the way out. The Dolphins, they're getting safety greedy now. They had one last week. Donnell Ellerbe wanted to join Cameron Wake in that column.
Ellerbe timed this just right. And there is penetration. Clearly Leonard crossed the plane. It's not a safety. But the strength of the Dolphins defense is inside. It's Soliai, Starks, They're massive inside, and they have perimeter edge players in Cameron Wake and Olivier Vernon that can really present problems. Tampa's got to be careful here with the young quarterback.
And hold in the end zone as well. That's a safety. Play clock running down and out. And that'll be the shortest penalty in the league.
Offense, number 8. After this is the goal. 3rd down.
Tampa had a penalty on Golson at the end of the first half. They had 10 men on the field on defense, had to take a timeout already in this half. And then there's the delay of game penalty. Mistakes continue to mount, and Coach Schiano's making note of them. Got to use a hard count here, try to get a 5-yard penalty from these Dolphins. They are really coming off on the snap.
Play clock again. Down to 1. Lennon from his own end zone. In trouble. Gets rid of it in time. In the air. Incomplete. Good contest by Carroll. Nolan Carroll battling Tyquan Underwood, and it will be a short, deep snap coming up for this Michael Kanan punt.
Good pressure by the Miami Dolphins, and it's Tyquan Underwood against Nolan Carroll. Same route he ran on the second play of the game. That time Nolan Carroll had nothing to do with it. And there's Olivier Vernon. Always seems to be around the quarterback. Tampa's got to be very careful in this tight punt formation.
Everybody coming in for Miami. Now Tampa's bringing in the gunner, Michael Adams. Max protect. Kanan's got to get it and get rid of it. And he does. And he gets a rocket shot. There's no blocking, but there's room for Thigpen. Trying to pick up some late blocks at midfield. Thigpen inbounds. Thigpen down the sideline. Out of bounds. Inside the 30. And down to the Buccaneers' 29-yard line.
There's an old saying, sometimes you outkick your coverage, and it often happens in these tight punt formations. There were no gunners. There were no outside punt coverage defenders, and Thigpen got the ball on the edge and showcased his speed. Brand new ball game.
The kick was 62, but returned, as you see, 34 by Thigpen, and now Miami will take over at the Buccaneer 29.
Jumbo package, 72 Yeatman. An extra offensive lineman is checked in at tight end at the bottom of the screen.
Miami started every drive inside their own 20 tonight until this one. Up top, incomplete on the overthrow by Tannehill.
And you see the indecision between Matthews and Tannehill. And they're talking about it right now. Are you going to stay on the move, or are you going to set it down? When you lose your slot receiver, watch it on the left side of the screen. It almost looked like Tannehill expected Matthews to stay on the move. It is hard to throw the ball with anticipation in the middle of the field with a slot receiver you really don't know.
Maintain the extra lineman in. And Will Yeatman. 29 running to the left. Daniel Thomas gains just a yard. That's the 3rd time I've seen 94 for the Bucs. Adrian Claiborne get a great jump on the snap count of the quarterback Tannehill.
They better mix up their snap count. We've been saying that all night. Watch Claiborne here. 94 at the bottom of the screen.
Tannehill, who has run a little bit of read option, just caused Claiborne to slow down for a half second.
Watch the right guard, 74, John Jerry. He's going to turn around and tell Pouncey when to snap the ball. And Tampa's got a read on that.
There he goes, looking back. Okay, go. Twist is picked up. Underneath, it's tackled short of the first down as Lamar Miller caught it, and Mark Barron knocked it down. Field goal attempt coming.
Nice play by Mark Barron once again. He's got corner coverage skills. I mean, he can come down underneath and cover these quick routes like a corner sometimes. He's a big, strong safety that can play a lot of different positions. He was well trained in that role at Alabama for a guy named Nick Saban.
And Caleb Sturgis started really good. 10 for 10, felt great, but he struggled of late from 40 yards. Knocks that one through. And the Dolphins, special teams, a good punt pinning the Bucs back at the 1. The good punt return. And then the field goal, making it a 5-point game. Servicemen and women enjoying this day here in Tampa. Honor of Veterans Day. Every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games. Leagues donating $100 to each of the nonprofit partners. Pat Tillman Foundation, the USO, the Wounded Warrior Project. This area is so deeply involved in the military. MacDill Air Force Base, home of U.S. Central Command. The Persian Gulf, the conflict in Afghanistan and Iraq were coordinated. And we salute everyone on this Veterans Day. Guy Dawson got hit hard and quickly, and the ball came down as Marlon Moore made the hit. It's free on the ground. Okay, down by contact is the ruling on the field. Moore hits him. Dawson goes down because of that contact, and that's what brought the ball out. And off the pile, it will stay with Tampa. And Dawson helped up to his feet. But no fumble. Tampa ball. Up by 5, the third-round pick, Mike Glennon, back to work.
He's got a lot of things going for him. How about the arm strength? That's impressive. A lot of attributes. Functional mobility. He can run for first downs. Seen him do it tonight. He has excellent anticipation. This ball's thrown way before the receiver breaks. Nice work. The one thing Glennon hasn't done is get his first win, and to do that, he's going to have to close. Let's see if he has that attribute.
Second drive of the half. Last one was starting at the 1. This the 19, and Brian Leonard turns his back, gets to the 26-yard line for a gain of 7 as a holding flag against the Buccaneers comes in.
They might have got Underwood, the wide receiver there.
Holding, number 11 in the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
These mistakes by Tampa are unbelievable. He's going to come down and try to block the strong safety. That's his assignment. I didn't see much of a hold there. Did you, Mike?
No.
Killer of a penalty.
Jeff Triplett said half the distance to the goal.
Might be checking to see if holding was really necessary there because it wasn't. That was ridiculous.
He said half the distance to the goal, but it should be just a 10 there because it takes it back to the 9-yard line. So it is first and 20. Said it wrong, spotted it right. Halfway through the third, Leonard goes back 4 yards to the 10-yard line. John, you show those attributes of Glennon. Tampa's got a very interesting last 8 games. One, they want to find a win. They want to find out if this guy could be their quarterback of the future or not.
No question. They've gone through a lot of quarterbacks in Tampa. I know I went through a lot. It's important that Glennon wins some football games. And here he is with a 5-point lead midway through the third quarter. That's what you want your quarterback to do, to make some clutch plays late in football games to take your team home a winner.
Doing the things you see veteran quarterbacks doing in the league. He made his choices at the line once he saw how Miami lined up defensively. Pressure from the safety, and the throw is complete. Just shy of the first down to Tim Wright. Janelle Ellaby makes the tackle on the tight end turned, or wide receiver turned tight end for Tampa Bay.
How good is that throw? Nice blitz pickup by Brian Leonard. Off the weak side, he stands in there right in the fire and throws an accurate pass for a huge first down. Timothy Wright, another undrafted free agent, Mike, that you like, out of Rutgers.
We have a lot of Rutgers players here. They're going to measure for the first down. Of course, we mentioned Greg Schiano was the coach at Rutgers. They have 6 players on the 53-man roster who were at Rutgers. And it is a first down. That's more than any other NFL team has from one college. The Houston Texans had a half dozen Miami Hurricanes, but one was released last week, so more Rutgers players or Bucks than any other school on any other NFL team.
Miami been Loading the box on first down. Good time for a play action pass.
Pressure shown. Glennon hands to Leonard. With Lorig, his fullback, ahead to block, and only a couple of yards, and yet another penalty marker down.
The Kevin Coyle run down blitzes. Tough to run the ball into.
Holding. Number 76 to the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's the center, Jeremy Zuta, another one of those Rutgers players.
Zuta's versatile. He's been around a long time here. Played both guards and center. Back-to-back penalties on first down have put the young quarterback in horrible down and distance situations, backed up in a tight football game. Where is Cameron Wake, Mike?
91.
Top of the screen.
Glennon thought about the throw, was covered, takes off to run, and Wake chases him down to 24. That'll be a pickup, only 4 yards.
Well, this is where you need your prize pass rusher to deliver. It's what he did last Thursday night against Cincinnati. In critical moments, Wake was at his best. And here on second down and 16, he's going to get a couple premier pass rush opportunities. Let's see if Kevin Coyle blitzes or trusts his four-man rush.
Second and 16, Leonard not going anywhere. Will lose 3 yards back to the 20, and Randy Starks been to the Pro Bowl a couple of times in his 10th year in the league out of Maryland.
Well, he's their franchise player, Mike. Someone's going to pay him a lot of money. Starks on the backside just collapses the weak side of the formation and stuffs Brian Leonard.
Without James, there's no elusiveness in this Tampa running game. Miami's getting a beat on it now. And it's 3rd and long for Glennon. 19. Here comes the pressure. They rush 5. Glennon's throw is incomplete as the rush was getting to him, and now the coordinator, Kevin Coyle's on his feet in the box. Excited to see his defense get off the field.
And you can just feel Wake, Odrick, 3-down look. You can feel the tide turning, and it's almost a sag in the stadium, Mike, like here we go again. The Buccaneers have been unable to finish a game, and you just sense it slipping away again.
You saw Donald Penn reaching at that left knee. He limped over to the sidelines. Here's the punt by Kanan. Big Penn off the big return a moment ago, back deep. Bad kick. Awful kick.
Unbelievable.
It will be a 21-yard punt. And the Dolphins will take over in Bucs territory again, this time at the 41. Penalties, bad punts, 0-8.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by IBM. Let's build a smarter planet. Visit IBM.com/smarterplanet. The new LG G2. Accomplish more. With LG, it's all possible. Navy Federal Credit Union. Visit us at NavyFederal.org. And NFLShop.com. Find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL.
Aerial coverage tonight from Raymond James Stadium. Brought to you by DirecTV. Enjoyed our times here. Been here for a few Super Bowls, Bucs games. We're here annually for the Outback Bowl. Always that great New Year's Day tradition here in Tampa. Look at Donald Penn, concerned for his left leg, as the Dolphins get great field position. Starting at the Buccaneers 41. Tannehill pressure, quickly away to Matthews, continuing his big game. Right near the first down mark. At the 31, he's got it. First down, Miami.
Well, it's a slot combination. 2 receivers working together. Hartline clears it out, and Matthews continues to go to work against Deshaun Goldson in the slot.
Shard Matthews came into the game with 10 catches for 117 yards, and tonight he has 10 catches for 101. Fantasy owners scurry to see if Matthews is owned in their league. the 31. Clay, the fullback takes, bounces to the outside, and Darrelle Revis off the corner. No gain. Good tackle, Revis.
Big part of our pregame show was Tampa Bay must close, and they got to lean on their best players. Watch Revis. Sees it the whole way. No gain. And Darrelle Revis does a lot more than just cover people. He can tackle. Very good in run support. 2nd and 10.
Said he's settling in the last few games. More bump and run. He says he couldn't play as much earlier in the season. It's open to debate and conversation, but needless to say, a year and a few weeks removed from the knee operation, getting back to himself. Tannehill on the boot. Hartline got another first down. And Miami's passing game in the last 4 drives has controlled the flow of this one.
Well, it's ball handling. Going to stretch the ball to Lamar Miller and come out clean on a bootleg and just make a nice accurate throw on the over route. Tannehill's very good on the move. He's an outstanding athlete. He's a rare athlete for a quarterback. We all know he was an outstanding receiver at Texas A&M.
In the red zone from the 19. Pump and a shot over the middle. Incomplete. Goldson able to break up the pass intended for the tight end play.
That was scary right there by Tannehill. And when you throw the ball late in the middle of the field against Deshaun Goldson, something bad is going to happen. And usually a wide receiver is going to get hit. It's going to fake the quick screen down here to Wallace. And Charles Clay is lucky Goldson didn't hit him like I've seen hit people in his past, because that is the biggest hitter, I think, in the NFC when it comes to safeties.
Brian Hartline's rolling a little bit the last few drives. He's at the top of the screen. In the 19, it's a throw on the run to Matthews. Got a Hartline block. Got a second career touchdown. And the Dolphins take the lead.
Great design by this Dolphin coaching staff. Tannehill rode the fake. Tampa Bay bought it, and nobody covered Matthews. 29, Leonard Johnson had nose trouble. He bit on the fake, and Brian Hartline, number 82, finishes with a nice block, and Miami's going for 2, Mike.
Yep, at 16-15 here. About the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. That's the time coaches like to start playing that card that they have, that every coach has. Up 1, it's a no-brainer. Go 2 to try to make it a 3-point game. We'll do it off the left hash mark. You choose which side you want to try from. Tannehill rolling right. Try to get it back to Daniel Thomas, who was covered. And the conversion fails as Revis was all the way across the field with Mike Wallace. So Miami on top for the first time tonight. Rashard Matthews, who caught a lot of his college passes from Colin Kaepernick, has his first 2 NFL touchdowns tonight. Well, injury provided opportunity. The injury to Brandon Gibson, the slot receiver they acquired in free agency from St. Louis, gave Matthews the chance in his second year, 7th-round pick out of Nevada, to grow in the slot role. And Tampa hasn't solved it yet tonight. 11 catches, 2 touchdowns. Miami in the lead, and no return this time for Eric Page.
Well, when you play against Mike Sherman and Tannehill, watch the ball handling. It's the details that made this play happen. That ball handling sucked in Leonard Johnson, and it attracted Deshaun Goldson's eyes. And in this 4-deep, 3-under zone defense, it's a walk in the park for Rashard Matthews. Ball handling, execution, premier on that play.
We saw Matthews, John, 11 receptions, 2 touchdowns. First time in a game in Dolphins history the receivers had 11 catches and 2 touchdowns. Lennon put it on the mark for Jackson. Couldn't come away with it, and incomplete as Tampa tries to respond, as Miami has scored the last 16.
And it's going to be on Glennon's shoulders. They don't have a running back that they can feature. Miami is going to force Glennon to throw the football, and the young quarterback needs to roll his fist up and fight his way back on top. Everything has gone wrong since the end of the second quarter.
Play action. Stepping up, taking a shot downfield. Nobody's going with it. Incomplete. Vincent Jackson was the receiver going down there, but there was blanket coverage by Grimes, and Clemens, the safety, there as well.
The fans don't understand what's going on here. Vincent Jackson never turned around. And the fans, they just don't understand. They are so excited in the first 30 minutes, but they can't understand why this team can't keep it together. Beware of Cameron Wake at the top of the screen. This is where he gets paid.
Play clock at 2. Off in time. Pressure comes. Glennon throws an interception to Jimmy Wilson. Wilson can run. He's at the 25. Picking up blockers, Wilson. Inside the 10. First and goal, Dolphins at the 7. And the pressure with Deion Jordan.
Excuse me, Mike, you got to credit Joe Philbin. I don't know what he said to his Dolphins at halftime, but they are putting the young quarterback under serious pressure. That time he threw the ball before the receiver was ready. Tampa Bay looks unorganized, and Miami has fought themselves off the mat.
It's the first time, John, that Buck fans have seen an interception thrown by the rookie Glennon in 159 passes. He comes up short of the record for a rookie without throwing an interception for consecutive passes, held by Sam Bradford. And you can see the inevitability on the Tampa side and the enthusiasm on the Miami side. They've scored the last 16. And here goes Daniel Thomas coming left and shut down. The edge is taken away by Mason Foster, the third-year man out of Washington.
It's that wide perimeter jet sweep. You don't know if Tannehill is going to pull it or if he's going to give it. Very accomplished shotgun ball handler. And Ryan Tannehill has done a lot of his damage in the shotgun here in the second half.
Second and goal. Tannehill protects it and throws for Hartline, incomplete in a very tight spot. Boy, Tannehill's fundamentals of keeping a couple of hands on the ball, able to avoid having it knocked out.
Ryan Tannehill needs to run there, Mike. A lot of coverage back here by the Bucs. Step up and run. Use your athletic ability a little bit more often than you are. Good job with 2 hands on the bucket. I'd love to see him put that ball down and run.
Third and goal is to be a huge stop for the Tampa Bay. Empty backfield. They rush 4. Little swing to Clay, not going anywhere. Gerald McCoy read it off the line. Took the tight end down. Here comes a field goal attempt to make it a 4-point Dolphin lead.
Very good recognition by McCoy. Little inside screen to Clay, number 42. He's going to act like he's blocking and turn around, and Gerald McCoy comes from inside out to make this play. That's an outstanding instinctive play by the Pro Bowl defensive tackle.
Good from 40, now from 30. Sturgis knocks it through. Greg Schiano's team had a 15-0 lead, but he's watched the Dolphins come back. All that is swirling around this team. They're 19 in a row, and they have the lead here at the back end of the third quarter. An interception by Jimmy Wilson. His second of the year, had one at the end of the Atlanta game. Gave Miami great field position. John, you talk about football in a field position game. Remember Glennon started that drive at the 1. Had the 2 holding penalties on the last drive. They've been inside their 20 almost the whole quarter. Meantime, Schiano has seen Miami's team start 3 drives in their end of the field. And it's allowed the Dolphins to come back in and take the lead in this game.
Well, Tampa Bay's been chaotic in all three phases of the game. They've been hurt in special teams. They've made mistakes on offense and certainly on defense. And when you have a team 15-0 at home, you have to finish them. And Tampa Bay's been unable to do that all year.
No return. And sometimes, John, they say good things happen to good people. Sometimes bad things happen with bad teams.
A 15-yard headbutting penalty on Golson. Then you give up a huge punt return to Thigpen. A delay of game penalty backed up on your 1-inch line. A terrible 12-yard punt, whatever it was, by Kanan. And then your safety and your nickel corner get nose trouble and a walk-in touchdown. Too many mistakes. Too often for Greg Schiano and the Buccaneers. And they have to find a way to put themselves back together quickly.
Likely the final play of the quarter. The Leonard run. Good job by Leonard to seek some space and gain 8 yards. Once down 15-0. The Dolphins lead 19-15 on Monday Night Football. What a week it's been for these individuals regarding the Richie Incognito, Jonathan Martin situation. The head coach, Joe Philbin, man of great character, who was defended by Stephen Ross, his owner, in our interview that we had during the pregame and at halftime. Ross saying that he was appalled once he found out the entirety of the situation in the locker room, and the responsibility with Jeff Ireland, the general manager, Philbin, the head coach, all called into question. The continuing NFL investigation for another 3 weeks or so swirls as this team on the field tries to win games. And the Bucs try to win a game for the first time. Brian Leonard, who's now the running back because of injury to Mike James tonight, with the run for the first down to the 39. John?
It's just a power play off the right side. And watch Brian Leonard, the tailback, taking advantage of the opportunity to run the football. Good patience in the hole. Back to back. Nice power plays by Leonard and this Buck offensive line. There's another one.
Good one. Gains about 3 yards. And back to your point, you lose your running back and you go, man, the best chance we have is to throw it. But Greg Schiano made it very clear in the Seattle game last week. We were asking Glennon to do too much, throwing it 45 times. And when they ran the ball and had balance, they were a better offense.
You're exactly right, Mike. And don't forget, Leonard's from Rutgers.
It's a theme around here. Here's Schiano going back to a place where he rebuilt the program that started college football, played in the first game, and didn't have very much success until he got there. Leonard left. He is just shy of that first down.
Nice job by Mike Glennon, understanding the running game. That time it's a double A gap blitz with a free safety blitz. And he says, hey, let's run the ball away from all these Miami Dolphins. Matt Glennon is doing a lot with his arm. He's also managing a very diverse running game that Greg Schiano has here in Tampa Bay. 3rd down and 1. And again, don't lose sight of Vincent Jackson against the smaller Brent Grimes at the top of the screen.
Lennon gives Leonard, who gets the first down. There's 5 carries for 29 yards on this drive. And keeps it going right at midfield.
Well, Tampa Bay's sending a message to Miami. We're going to run right behind our right tackle, DeMar Dotson, and our right guard, Davin Joseph. That's the best run blocking side of the Buccaneers, and they have pounded the ball off the right side with the exact same play 4 out of the last 5 plays.
Leonard needs a break. Bobby Rainey's the running back. Play action. Glennon with time. And an Underwood with the catch. Tyquan out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 18 yards of first down for the Buccaneers.
That's a nice job by Tampa Bay. Staying with their game plan. Running the ball, and then using the play action pass Inside handoff to Rainey, occupies the linebackers, and there is nobody underneath Tyquan Underwood. Once again, nice throw by Mike Lennon.
Comes Rainey, looking for space. Not gaining much. You look John out here. And every team goes through injuries and attrition during the year. This is the second quarterback. Freeman was the starter. Josh Freeman, who was cut because of his poor play on the field, his lack of leadership off the field. You look at the wide receiver spot. Mike Williams should be the number 2. He's injured. It's now Underwood. The running backs there on their 3rd and 4th at this point. So there are reasons for 0-8. Tampa's trying to get out of that hole and get one in that win column with backups tonight. Bobby Rainey again. With a burst up the middle, Rainey. He's got speed. Rainey 10, Rainey 5. Towards the pylon. First and goal at the 1.
You know, we drafted a guy here a long time ago in the first round named Davin Joseph. Pro Bowl right guard, and he's had some injuries in the last year or so, but this Davin Joseph is coming to life, and they're running a power play with Meredith Poland time and time again, and they are pounding the Miami Dolphins. Just an excellent surge off the right side, and Bobby Rainey. Brian Leonard, Greg Schiano using every Buccaneer that he can find available.
After the longest run of his career, Rainey tries to pay it off with a touchdown. He got it. And Tampa leads.
That's a tremendous drive by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they did it on the ground. They used the play-action pass, and they used the running back nobody in Tampa, Florida's ever heard of. Good for him. Got to credit Greg Schiano and his coaching staff. Watch Rainey press it, bounce it to the outside, and he has the perimeter speed to get to the pylon. Good work.
After the longest run of his career, his first NFL rushing touchdown. Extra point added by Ryan Lindell. 3 weeks ago, he was claimed after being waived by the Browns. Now he's putting the Buccaneers in the lead.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by the all-in-one Xbox One. Jump Ahead. Homefront, starring Jason Statham and James Franco, in theaters this Thanksgiving. NFL Mobile. Never have the fear of missing out on football. Call Star NFL now. And Autotrader.com. Compare new and used cars at Autotrader.com.
Well, I guess you're never bored in Ybor City. That's that area of the heartbeat of Tampa, the dining entertainment scene, originally established as a major cigar manufacturing center over a century ago. 22-19 after Miami scored 19 in a row. That one sent all the way through by Kanan. Now Joe Philbin's team has to try to respond. Tampa still has games at Detroit, at Carolina, against San Francisco, and at New Orleans. Among the difficult games in the second half of their season. This is the last team without a win in the NFL. After Gus Bradley and Jacksonville got a win yesterday. From the 20, here is Tannehill. And he gets down to the running back. And Lamar Miller takes it to the 23-yard line. A slow start for Tannehill, really picked it up as they started to spread, especially that last drive of the first half. And we need to remind everyone as we watch Tannehill make this start for Joe Philbin tonight. It's the 25th of his career. Just about 3 years and 3 weeks ago, he was not a full-time quarterback yet. It was mid to late October at Texas A&M back in 2010 when he became the full-time quarterback of the Aggies. Scanning right, throwing to Wallace, and Revis ties him up. But I think he got enough yards on the forward progress for the first down.
Nice job by Ryan Tannehill getting off his primary receiver, coming backside to Wallace on a little sit down route on the outside. I think he's going to be a little short.
Just got to touch the 30-yard line, and that mark is a hair short.
Tampa Bay been very stingy against the run, to say the least. Miami with 3 yards rushing. Let's see what happens.
Tannehill fighting for it and uses that big 6'4.5" frame to take the first down to the 32-yard line.
Bill Sheridan continues to apply pressure. And in every short yardage situation, when I see Tampa, I see blitz, blitz, blitz coming after the uncovered guard. In this case, number 74, John Jerry. Tyson Claybo gets just enough done on the backside to help Tannehill get an important first down.
31. Here goes Lamar Miller. And he was forced in the loss by Mark Barron. Guy was 0-8 this year. He's won a couple national championships in his college days at Alabama, trying to turn around the losing ways.
Done a lot of good things tonight. Miami continues to show some persistence with the running game. Tampa Bay's rejected every one of them tonight. Time for McCoy. Time for Claiborne. Time for somebody on this Buccaneer defense to close a game out.
Deshaun Goldson not on the field here, John, for the Buccaneers. Over on the sideline. Tannehill throws, and it's nearly intercepted. Miscommunication with Charles Clay, and it's incomplete. Leonard Johnson back there in coverage as I watch Goldson off to the left head off to the Bucs locker room.
Second time I've seen it happen. It happened in the first half with Rashad Matthews. That time, Clay never looked for the ball. Lack of communication in the middle of the field, not a good thing. Expect Tampa to rush 3 right here. That's been their long yardage defense tonight.
37 you see at the 45-yard line. Keith Candy, he's replacing Goldson. Tannehill throws, sideline incomplete. Looking for Hartline, and the rookie Jonathan Banks tested and standing up to the test. And Miami will punt halfway through the fourth quarter.
Good defense by Tampa. Their ability to reject the Miami running game has forced Tannehill behind in the down and distance repeatedly tonight. That time it paid off.
Bad punts in the first half by Brandon Fields allowed Tampa good field position. Fields had a great punt earlier in this half, hitting the Bucs back at the 1. And the offside, but 4th and 13 won't change much.
Seventh penalty on Tampa Bay.
Offside, unabated. Defensive end, 5 yards. Penalty, the 4th down.
Eric Page waits at his 15. Tampa runs in. One more player from the edge. Fields gets rid of it again. Doesn't hit it cleanly. And that's going to be a flag on Eric Page. It's a 45-yard punt. And a hit that had absolutely no impact on the play as the ball was going out of bounds as Rick Schiano bringing Page over.
Rick Schiano shows a lot of poise down there. I give him credit.
Why would you do something like that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what you just said to him. As R.J. Stanford was waiting and watching it go out of bounds, and Jeff Triplett's crew discussing the flag.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 17, the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, Eric Page makes the hole bigger for his team. They are in the lead by 3. Getting to football coaching, you dream of having the opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL. And they have been long days and nights for Greg Schiano and Joe Philbin. Philbin answering all the questions about what happened, what was the leadership, where's the accountability. Schiano hearing people and seeing billboards as you drive to work. Fire Schiano. It affects the families, it affects the staffs, and these guys are trying to find a way to, for Joe Philbin, avoid his team having to deal with the questions of, did all the off-the-field impact you becoming the first team to lose to the Bucs? But Schiano's trying to get a win. What's at stake here in the last half of this quarter as Brian Leonard runs for a gain of 2.
But you know, Mike, it's the greatest profession there is. There's a lot of elevator music when you're a head coach. You can't listen to everything. You can't have a thin skin. You can't let everything bother you. These guys run good programs. Greg Schiano, he turned it around at Rutgers. He can turn it around here, but you can't be sensitive to all the billboards and all the tweets and all the text messages. You got to focus and you got to finish the job, and that's what these guys are going to do.
From the 13, Glennon trying to get away, flips it to Leonard, and it becomes a completion of 2 yards. Good awareness there by Glennon, the rookie, as he avoided the sack and the loss of a few.
That's the 4th time they've come with the same blitz. And then very resourceful by Glennon to somehow find his outlet receiver. But this is crunch time officially, and if you want to make something happen, generally you dial up a blitz, and Tampa's got to be ready to pick one up here.
3rd and 6 are a lot of Dolphin fans who are making noise here as Glennon rolls the pocket right on the run. He's looking downfield, and it is incomplete. Underwood went up to get it. For a second there, it looked like it was a Nolan Carroll interception on that dangerous throw.
That was not a good decision by Mike Glennon.
Flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 52 of the defense. Forearm to the helmet. 15 yards, automatic first down.
It's on Philip Wheeler. I didn't see it. It was laying on the sideline on the white there as Wheeler goes forearm to the helmet. Watch as Glennon releases here. And he shot to the helmet, is 15. That's clear as day. That's a terrible mistake for the Dolphins.
I'd expect Tampa to go back to that power play right off the right side. Tom Crabtree's back in the game. Look for a one-back power off the right side.
Bobby Rainey, who had the big run on the last drive, is met by Randy Starks.
Starks served too. They've had a lot of success running that play off the right side with Meredith Pullen, and Randy Starks says that's enough of this. Watch him see Meredith pull, and he rejects this one. Split a double team. That's impressive.
And DeMar Dotson, who went down there, was slow to get up. Jeff Tripp with the referee just stopped the game as Dotson was dealing with some discomfort and called out the athletic training staff of the Buccaneers. And they're asking Dotson to take a knee so they can examine him and get a look at him. But the right tackle of Tampa injured on the play with 5:33 to go. And the Buccaneers trying to preserve a 3-point edge.
What's up? Stuart Scott with you. Coming up on the GMC postgame report, highlights of the Buccaneers and Dolphins, plus injury reports around the NFL, including the latest on Peyton Manning, also the top plays of the week, as well as LeBron James expressing a little bit of frustration about the Miami Heat start this season. Mike, all that's coming up on SportsCenter.
All right, Stuart, welcome back, pal. Great to have you back with us here on Monday nights. And Stuart will join Steve Young, Trent Dilfer, who has the most starts ever by a Bucs quarterback, by the way, and Ray Lewis on that GMC postgame. Bobby Rainey's the back at 2nd and 11, and Glennon finds Rainey out of the backfield. Got a first down. Boy, Bobby Rainey has a good impact on this game here tonight. Most significant action he's had.
Wow, 4 verticals Going to send 4 verticals down the field, and watch Rainey come out of the backfield and win in one-on-one coverage. He's going to break to the outside. Nice check down by Glennon and a huge first down. Good to see Meredith back in at right tackle, Mike. Excuse me, Dotson.
Right out for injury, a play ago. The first time Rainey has touched the ball this season for the Buccaneers, just his 3rd game, and he's having a good impact here in the 4th quarter. His first down run.
Miami Dolphins defense looks tired. Last 2 possessions, Tampa Bay thrashing it right at him. Big hole.
Rainey's 13 carries and 4 receptions came with the Browns, who waived him. And then the Buccaneers picked him up. Miami's defense needs to get a stop to get the ball back with a chance for Tannehill. 2nd strong consecutive running game for Tampa. Rainey, wow, he is met hard immediately by Rashad Jones, coming in from the safety position.
That's the Iron Man of the Miami Dolphins. Rashad Jones hasn't missed a snap all year. Only missed about 5 of them last year. The Iron Man comes off the weak side and tracks Bobby Rainey. That's impressive.
Rainey will come out. Brian Leonard will come in. 3rd and 1. And a huge play both ways with 3:22 to go. Vincent Jackson in motion, a high snap. 6'7" Glennon got it, rolled it, never threw it, stepped out of bounds too, which stops the clock. So that is everything Miami could have wanted. No pass, no first down, stopped clock.
Well, strange play call when you sprint to your left. They're going to look for Vincent Jackson on a quick out. And Jimmy Wilson, number 27, does a great job undercutting it. And when you sprint to your left into the short side of the field, you're going to run out of real estate. Miami's got plenty of time left.
It's credited as a sack to Ellerby technically. Michael Kanan, can he pin the Dolphins deep? Big Ten catches it, Fair catches it at the 5.
I thought he had room to run. I don't know what's going on in special teams these days, Mike. I see guys running it out from 9 yards deep, Fair catching at the 5. The game is surely changing. That's a bad mistake.
Story in the AFC as you start to think playoffs here as we get towards the middle of November. Your 4 division leaders, huge game with the Chiefs and Broncos next Sunday night. The Jets at 5-4 in the division here. And Miami, win or lose, they're still fine. There's still plenty of ball to be played here. There's a lot of 4 and 5 teams. They're trying to join the Jets over at 5-4. And every win is going to be so important. It looks like a photo finish coming at the back end of the AFC. 95 yards, 3 minutes. Tannehill starts with Clay. Big open field play by Mark Barron.
Miami continues to work the slot receivers. This time it's Clay on an outside breaking route. I really like the way Barron plays the game. The Red Baron, I call him.
Tannehill over the middle, complete to Clay. Gets out to the 22-yard line.
You know, you have Revis outside in coverage with Jonathan Banks. Miami's done a great job tonight working inside away from the strength of these Buccaneer defenders. And Leonard Johnson has had his hands full all night.
Play out, Wallace and Matthews at the top in some conversation as to making sure they are on the same plate. Tannehill goes that way. First down for Mike Wallace. Closed in on the 2-minute warning.
This is where you got to lean on your pass rush. You saw Warren Sapp get his name put up in the lights at halftime. Gerald McCoy, these Buccaneer defenders have to find a pass rush.
3 new Bucks come in. Dolphins try to squeeze one in before the 2, and they don't get there. Well, the Bucs were subbing. It was a chance to catch him. They just didn't want to push it. At the 2-minute warning, the Bucs by 3.
Hey, what's going on? This is Vincent Jackson, wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I just want to give a big shout out to our military personnel, active and retired. Just thank you for everything that you've done, your families, the sacrifices you make for our freedom. Again, happy Veterans Day.
And we add that to all the veterans watching and the dozen veterans on our Monday night crew. Guys like Leo Burchett, Sonny Birmingham, Tim Macy, Mike Jason as well. We salute all of you. And Jerry Austin behind us in the booth, the veteran as well. Thank you. Thank you all. 2-minute warning. Dolphins down 3. Tannehill, pocket collapsing. Tannehill down. Barron came with the huge pressure from the safety position to set up the sack.
So did Lavonte David. Aggressive call by Greg Schiano and his Buck defensive coaching staff, and down goes Tannehill.
Timeout, Dolphins.
Here's Barron right here, number 54. He's going to come on an inside blitz. And you see Mark Barron wrap around the outside. Now Miami with 4 downs has to find a way to get a positive play, but a very creative blitz. And that's what Greg Schiano's talked about. Let's save some bullets for late in the game that the offense hasn't seen. That one clearly caught the Dolphins off guard.
They need to get to the 43 for the first down and have 3 downs to do it. This is a 4-man rush, and Tannehill's going to go down again. Gerald McCoy and Daquan Bowers in the offensive line letting Miami down here. Timeout, Dolphins again.
Oh, we called him out in the pregame. Gerald McCoy, number 93, got to finish a game. Go after the right guard, John Jerry, and end the night. Just an excellent job on a speed rush, and John Jerry's laid out of his stance.
All right, John, go back to play caller here. You need 28 yards in 2 plays.
It's hard when you're not getting any kind of protection, but I'd throw some type of quick pass, an inside screen, try to get half of it back and set yourself up for a convertible 4th down.
3rd and 28. Tannehill does that, but it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, Michael Adams was all over him, and it will come down to 4th down.
Once again, it's McCoy pressuring Tannehill, and you almost have to think about a rebound pass of some kind, Mike. In the middle of the field, you've got to get the ball down the field. I said that last year when I saw Ray Rice on 4th and 30 catch a check down and run for it. Tampa Bay's got to finish the game right here with their defense.
Fourth and 28. Tannehill unloads, takes the shot downfield. Toward Mike Wallace, intercepted by Revis. And the Buccaneers that close to win 1. As Steve Ross, Joe Philbin, and the Dolphins, long week and a half. Looks like it'll get even longer.
And welcome to Tampa, Florida, Darrelle Revis. That's what you have to lean on, your best players, to close the game out when you need it the most, when your back is against the wall. McCoy gets after the quarterback, and the great Darrelle Revis finishes Miami.
That is Revis' 2nd interception here with Tampa, 21st of his career. And Greg Schiano is taking time out here for Tampa as the Bucs get on the field, trying to lock down that first win. Miami has 1 timeout remaining. You need to be at 127 or 128 on the clock to take a knee when the other team has 1 timeout to end the game. With 1:35, you're right at the edge. You can run the ball, force them to use that timeout, and just get it right out to the edge where you may not have to make a decision on a punt at the end. But there will be a lot going forward regarding the impact of the game. 1 for the Buccaneers' first win, if this holds up. And on the other side with Tampa, on Miami's side, how much did the off-the-field impact? I don't know if you can quantify it. They did come back, but it'll be discussed.
Don't get ahead of yourself yet. Tampa Bay, with a new running back, must take care of the football.
Leonard running to the right. This is what I was talking about, John. You can't just kneel down, but if you waste a few extra seconds, you can take the clock almost all the way to the end. Miami takes its final timeout here. The Dolphins couldn't run the ball at all. They had 2 rushing yards tonight. This is the 729th game the Dolphins have played in their history, and it is the fewest rushing yards they've ever had.
And they couldn't stop the run either. Tampa Bay ran it for 150 yards tonight. That combination will send you home miserable. Can't run the ball, can't stop the run, not going to win consistently.
Again, Leonard must stay in bounds, protect the ball, and tries to go down. Trying to use as much time as possible as the play clock starts here.
Then LLRB makes the stop. 3rd and 14.
And the thing I just want to point out, Mike, is there have been at least 3 bad exchanges this year between Mike Glennon and his backs. He's 6'6". This is the time of the game where you got to make sure you see the ball into the pocket of the back. Ball handling paramount here.
Let's see if Tampa's going to run it all the way down and take a timeout at the back end of the play clock. Or they just take a delay game. Taking a delay game here. So what they'll do on this play is take it, run around for a couple of seconds, and then go down, and that will mean you won't have to 4th down snap it. The game will end. So that's why they were extending those runs wide, and Leonard was very good about protecting the ball and trying to slide down to avoid contact. And now Schiano's going to take that final timeout.
Talk it over. The point you just made, Mike.
They could have taken that timeout to avoid the delay game, but in case anything does happen, you end up 5 yards closer to your own end zone. Can't wait for next Monday night. We'll be in Charlotte. Haven't been there for a Monday night since 2008. In Uptown Charlotte will be rocking. Rare visit by Tom Brady and the 7-2 Patriots against Cam Newton. The Panthers went to San Francisco and played an old-style football game and won yesterday. That defense of Carolina's been outstanding. We'll see them against Brady and the Pats Monday night, 8:25 Eastern from Charlotte. Glennon will take it, run backwards a few yards, see the clock get to 40, go down now, and that will do it. Because the play clock is starting at less than 40. And this game is over, and so is the winless season in Tampa. Greg Schiano and the Bucs get win 1. And for Miami, a couple of weeks of questions, followed up by a loss, and now trying to bounce back from more adversity. Their effort was poor to start, John, but the Dolphins did come back and play well as the 3rd quarter went on. But their inability to run the ball, as you said, huge in the story tonight.
No question. And congratulations to Mike Glennon, Darrelle Revis, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They get Florida on the map.
Final score, Tampa Bay 22, Miami 19. With John Gruden, Lisa Salters, our entire ESPN crew, and saluting all the veterans, and Warren Sapp on this night he was honored. Mike Tirico, good night from Tampa. Full recap of the day on SportsCenter next.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.